Okay, I realize I haven't explained what I've been doing with the settings, so I have to explain why I'm not playing at steady. The issue with steady is that it has an input mapping that basically goes like, I can't even like visually like present what steady does. Like it's unlike anything that's being shown here. I'll go back down to the actual respawn script I want to play at. The input mapping of steady like does a gigantic J. Like it starts and it feels like it slows down and then it spikes like to 3 times the initial value or something like that. And then once it hits the spike at the top, it like stays that speed the entire time. So anytime you attempt to do anything past like this distance on the screen, like your input mapping just like makes you jump aggressively beyond this, which disrupts your ability to like be precise or track or do anything because of the input mapping of steady. The hitbox of steady is good. It's better than linear in that it allows you to shoot more of the character while providing more assistance while aiming at the character. But the input mapping of steady makes it extremely reliant on the aim assist keeping you in the area that the hitbox is creating. When playing at steady, I think 100 FOV and 102 FOV are like the size that I would want it to be, and that it allows me to shoot like from face to like the whole body. I'm able to aim at the entirety of the body because it creates like a parenthetical shape that includes their face and is like close to their waist. Once it's at 100, I have to sort of free aim against small characters, and then the input mapping of steady disrupts my ability to free aim against small characters. If I did, if the input mapping of steady was not bad, I would play at 100 FOV steady because the hitbox at 100 FOV steady is the hitbox that I would want to play at. The input mapping is bad, and then the FOV itself is bad because I want to play at an FOV that is like at least 104, but like basically 106 is what I want to play at because everything above this, it starts to create like a, I don't know, like a fish lens type of effect. When I'm below 100, at 106, it feels like visually the camera is set to the correct spot in the face, and then as I decrease it, it's like it gets like puts blinders on that position, and then as I go above, it like feels like I'm like behind the character's face or something. Whatever. Steady has a good hitbox, has bad FOB, has bad input mapping. Since I want to play at 104 or higher, I tried playing at linear, but I don't like linear because linear is more specific than steady. Like at linear at 104 FOV creates a requirement to shoot locations in the body that do not include the character's face. Since I cannot shoot the character's face, or the hitbox does not want me to shoot the character's face, I do not like linear at 104, and if I increase the FOV above 104 while playing at linear, that location gets more specific towards the stomach of the character. Once I go to 106, high velocity is the only shape that allows me to shoot the entirety of the character, but then I am free aiming against small characters, and I don't want to free aim on console because console aim assist is designed in a way that basically prevents the player from failing. Classic aim assist is a dot. Players playing on console can push to this dot, and then the aggressiveness of console aim assist will keep them in that dot. You can move erratically, and the game instantaneously responds to your movement. I do not want to free aim at all on console because of how strong the aim assist is and how default aim assist is structured. If I go to 108 FOV, the hitbox of high velocity becomes like a shape that is specific in the character and that it like does not require free aim anymore. Like the hitbox becomes like a location in the size of small characters. But then the issue at high velocity at 108 is that I struggle to move through the location of the slow zone being created by 3 ADS that is being overlapped by like the columns creating the gap of high velocity. I don't really understand why this is an issue, but I struggle to move to the gap the closer it gets to the center of the character. And it has something to do with the slow zone. Because when I change the slow zone to like a dot or a column, I'm able to move to that location more consistently. But since the slow zone is no longer a circle, it feels bizarre because it's creating a tendency in my aim where I have to go to a specific location because the slow zone determines where I have the ability to aim, and the response curve determines where I have the ability to deal damage. I want 3 ADS regardless of what the response curve is doing, because being able to aim at the entirety of the character is what I want to be able to do. If I'm not able to do that, then I get bored and I hate playing the game. Since I cannot play at high velocity at 108 because it creates issues at 3 ADS, I have to play at fine aim because it creates a shape that is similar to the hitbox of high velocity at 108, but since there's nothing surrounding the column being created by fine aim, I'm able to consistently approach the column of fine aim. Fine aim is the best hitbox above 104, above 102. Like if you want to play at a higher FOV and shoot as much of the character as you possibly can without anything disrupting your ability to do that, then you should be playing at fine aim. I'm playing at fine aim, dead zone, response curve, all this shit. I'm fucking around with the numbers basically. I have my optics set to default 0.6. What is this, like middle 0.7, high 0.7, middle 0.7, low 0.8, middle 0.7, low 0.7. Uh, the, the optics seem to be like okay. I haven't like changed them much. It's been set to this for a while. All I'm doing is adjusting the speeds and determining whether or not I need an outer threshold, but I don't think I need an outer threshold because the input mapping of fine aim actually the input mapping of fine aim can be sort of represented here in that it like sort of it starts slow and then it like ramps up, but then like once it ramps up it like stays that speed. Like it doesn't what classic is like this in that it like ramps up the entire time, but like fine aim ramps up for like half the time and then like stays the speed, and then steady like ramps up like immediately and then stays that speed. Whatever. I'm at fine aim now. I think this is what like this is what I gotta do. Like the hitbox being created by the default response curve is being affected by the FOV, and I want to play at specific FOVs. This is what I gotta do. I gotta play at fine aim. That's it. Here, actually, what I should specify is that I'm not changing any of this here. I'm not changing 3 ADS. I'm not changing the response curve. I'm not changing the dead zone. I can like increase the FOV, but I'm not gonna decrease the FOV. And then I'm just gonna adjust all of this to try and make this as playable as possible, because this is what the game is forcing me to do. I cannot play at the hitbox that I want to play at because it forces me to play at an FOV that I don't want to play at with an input mapping that I don't want to play at. In order for me to play at an FOV that I want to play at and be able to shoot as much of the character as I possibly can without the game disrupting my ability to do that, I have to play at fine aim. Because linear creates a spot that's like specific in the stomach, steady creates like a diamond that's specific in the stomach, classic creates a dot that's specific in the stomach, fine aim creates a gap that is like a struggle to approach. Or no, high velocity creates a gap that is a struggle to approach, and fine aim creates a column the size of a gap that I can easily approach. Like, that is why. And the input mapping of fine aim is not bad. It's not atrocious. It's just like, it's okay. It's nowhere near as bad as steady. Steady has the worst input mapping.